you got to understand that the teams are they're gonna play faster and shoot more threes. And defensively, they're going to try to change the game with defensive pressure or change their scheme, whether it's a bunch of switching or going zone. And you're going to have to win the second half differently than what you did to build that lead. It's not just about doing what you did to build that lead. The game is different. So, we just got to understand it's a 48-minute game, and a lot of times you have to win the second half differently than win the first.
And with the Kings tomorrow, obviously, triple overtime, still pretty fresh, I'm sure, for a lot of guys. Is this a game where you
normal, and we should play with that type of aggression every time we're on the floor. That's what we want to be, a team that takes pride in that. And whether we won 2 days ago or lost 2 days ago or 2 games ago, it doesn't really matter. We're going up to Sacramento to get a W.
Right, kind of to capture that sort of edge that you're talking about. Does that sort of contradict? I think I know you're going to say it shouldn't, but you guys have been very open about sort of the long-term nature of this year, and that you've got the big picture. Do you think somewhere in that kind of messaging that maybe you guys forgot that small picture, like you have to play with the type of edge that you're talking about?
Not at all. Our guys are playing with urgency. The consistency of playing harder than an opponent isn't there yet. And we're not going to be a great team until it gets there. But that's not because of we're talking, having a big picture mindset at all.
Why do you think that?
Because we talk every day about the urgency to play harder than an opponent. Okay, win every time we're on the floor. Okay,
that's the other way. Why do you think that consistency has materialized?
I don't know, but we're working on it. We're challenging our guys to make sure we bring it. Part of it is just having a different group. It's easy to say when the team executes poorly or lacks familiarity with one another. It's easy to say that the urgency is not there. That's the go-to, for everyone from the outside looking in. But we have to cohesion, and that takes time.
One on Trevor. What's your anticipation for him as he nears his return? Like, where are we at in that process?
Yeah, still a ways away. I don't think we're putting a timetable on it, but he's getting closer, and we're hopeful to get him back as soon as possible. We feel like he's going to be a real key to unlocking this team's identity. From the ability of to be able to play Anthony at the 5 more, and have him sort of guard the other team's best 3-4. Okay, and Ron plays off of that, and it's just something we've not had, in terms of how this year's roster was put together, and he's a big piece of it. We'll hopefully get back as soon as we can.
I want to ask another question about that lineup. LeBron center we saw in Indiana. I saw a little bit yesterday. You won a championship with LeBron playing point guard. It wasn't all that long ago. How much is that a reflection of the multitude of his skill set that he could be effective in this role? And how much does it say about, there has been, given a little bit 14 months, been a lot of change on your team?
Yeah, well, it's, there's been some change, but, obviously he's the most versatile player in the game, so the ability to play point, the ability to play center, but the definition of those positions, has blended in the modern NBA. Centers bring it up and initiate, point guards roll to the basket. It's just it's a different game now. But have someone that can be equally as effective as a roller or as a playmaker with the ball, it's just it's an incredible weapon. And seeing him roll to the basket the way he did, just something that we have done with him, but it just with that lineup, you see it a lot more. There's more space to do it. So, something we're excited about.
Frank, in the big picture, when a team is built, to win a championship, and that's the goal from day one, there's kind of this weight of expectations, or at least a perception of a weight of those expectations. Have there been times over these first 22 games that you felt that it's been present, within the group, and then how we've seen them sort of handle the highs and lows, and just keep talking. Are those more acutely felt with a team like this, the highs and the lows? That
It's hard to say, I mean, because our group, I know for me personally, whatever the expectations of the group are, you want to blow through those and exceed them. You know what I mean? And, that's not been different with my whole career, so the losses are still heavy, wins, get you excited about what you can be. And, I would say that's not any different than it is with this year's group.
Follow up on Trevor, the original timeline, I know you're not putting time on it, but the original one was we reevaluated in approximately 8 weeks. I think we're about a week away from that. Are you expecting some sort of bigger update in another week, or is it?
Hopefully we'll have a more firm update. I don't have it right now, but he is getting closer. So we're within what that original time frame looked like, in terms of reevaluation.
How do you go about trying to get your better offensive players, become better defensive players, and your better defensive player to give you a little bit more on offense? How does that work? How do you do that?
Coach them and challenge them, and show them ways they can be successful with their skill set and to get the most out of their natural abilities on either side of the ball. And that's something we take a great deal of pride in. As a head coach and as our coaching staff that's working with these guys a lot individually. Not only putting them in positions to be successful, but showing them things to offensively to stay away from that are more challenging for them, to play to their strengths really offensively, and then defensively challenge them to get the most out of their abilities, and then bring help when they're in situations where they're vulnerable. It's really a team approach of them maximizing their abilities, and the coaches put them in a position to succeed.
Frank, in the first half, you guys had some opportunities maybe to find DeAndre on lobs that didn't really materialize. And I think in the third quarter, you guys got him 3 times, maybe
So, yeah.
something like that. Was that addressed at all, or did that just kind of?
Yeah, they're just reads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Teams are doing a good job of blocking lobs against us this year. The like pass blocks. So we have to we've had a lot of turnovers in those situations. So, guys are trying to keep their turnovers low. They think it's a low or high risk pass. Okay, we're asking them to make the simple play. So that's some of those situations. But the vertical spacing is something that to me has always been every bit as valuable as the 3-point spacing that you get with shooters. And we've got several guys who can do it.
Was that a factor, you think, in that stretch, that kind of 16-0 run? I think, obviously get a couple lobs, the defenders aren't able to get to drivers.
Yeah, you have to pay attention to the guys at the rim. You know what I mean? And when you do, it can collapse the defense, yes.
All right, I'll do Brian on Zoom, and I'll be the last one.
Hey, Frank, even acknowledging that data and analytics don't explain everything, obviously, that's happening. There's a lot of variance, and there are a lot of the numbers related to Avery's impact on the floor on both sides of the ball just aren't very positive. What is it that you guys see as a staff that that you're valuing in those minutes that he's giving you with the group that he's playing with?
Yeah, there's effort and intensity is infectious, and he plays extremely hard. I know the numbers you're talking about. We take them with a grain of salt. When a guy's bringing that type of intensity, it's just an intangible thing, that energizes the group, sets a tone for our defense. So there's a lot of positives with what he brings to the table.
Thanks.